Well, good morning, everybody. Well, I thought I'd pop up and tell you that yes, we are continuing with the inventory. Oh my gosh, are we ever continuing with the inventory? So first things first, Fred picked a bunch of the smaller tomatoes that needed to be picked for me last night. Check it out. You name a container, he put them in. Now, a lot of them are not huge. It's not a big deal. They're all beautiful tomatoes, and these ones here we're going to put out on the table to ripen up. We have a whole bunch of cherry tomatoes, like a bunch. Crazy bunch. Now, the thing with the cherry tomatoes is yeah, they don't have a lot of substance, but personally, and it might just be me, I think they add a fair amount of flavor when I make tomato sauce, things like that. So we put those in the freezer and we use them too, whatever we don't actually eat. I think I'm almost tomatoed and cucumbered out. Just saying. Because we have another basket of cucumbers too. More cucumbers. I mean, these guys got a little away from me from the looks of things. And Fred says there are a lot more out there. So, yeah. That's okay. So when it comes to inventory as well, 4 more gallons of tomatoes. Now I just gave these a bit of a stir, so some of them are starting to cook. Most of them are still frozen. Yep, that is 4 more 4-gallon bags of tomatoes. And I still have 1 full one in the fridge. And wait till you see the table. Okay guys, this is the current state of the tomatoes on the table. Now these ones here are pretty much ready to be washed and frozen. There's a couple that are still a little bit green, but that's okay. If the majority is ready like him, he'll go in the freezer anyway. So pretty much all of these, including some of these big guys, they're ready for the freezer. Okay, so the freezer. Now I showed you the jar inventory. By the way, I'll show you an update too. But the freezer, it's a mess right now, but we actually go in and we have veggies ready for winter in the freezer. So let me show you what we did. Of course, we got our big box of blueberries because we're going to use those all winter long. This container has, you ready? This container has all the green beans. Ta-da! Now I vacuum sealed all of these. That's a meal for each of us. This container has a whole bunch of zucchini. And I still have to grate that big guy up. Oh my gosh. So the freezer is a bit of a mess. We still have some freezer meals we're gonna make, and I also have more zucchini to put in there, a few other things like that. Now the other freezer is still covered by all these tomatoes. So in that freezer is where I have the peeled garlic. That's all in the freezer in a bag. And also all the frozen peas. And we still have to do the beets and the carrots. I think we have lots of inventory. Here's also the next addition to our inventory. Yay! Don't they look good? Now we still have other onions. We're going to talk about onions. We still actually have other squash and pumpkins out there, but they're not quite ready yet, so that's what we've harvested so far. Doesn't look like we're going to get any butternut, but we kind of expected that. Our big job today, though, is I have to get these onions taken care of because they've been in the greenhouse way too long. Alrighty, I got my onion bags. So, taking care of onions when you do it properly, it's not so bad. The only thing I do, cut the top, get rid of any of the extra roots, and they just go in the bag. That's it. Now, I really do wish I had like a proper cold room and everything, but I don't. So, I do my best. What I really do wish I had, though, was more onions. I didn't plant as nearly as many as we did last year. And so far, so good, to be honest. Now, I did leave these in the greenhouse way too long, which means I'm going to have some in here that really have to go. There's nothing I can do about that, so. All right, guys, I'm gonna clean these up and then we'll continue on tidying up this inventory. Well, onions are done. All the waste for the compost. And I didn't even use the other bag. Yep, so I didn't plant as many onions this year. And they didn't get as big. And I also left them in the greenhouse way, way, way too long. So of course, I lost quite a few little onions, but that's all right. Onions are definitely one of those ones that you can get for really, really good prices coming up, especially in the fall, right? So if you can get a good bag of onions for a decent price and you don't have a spot to store them, chop them all up, put them in a freezer bag if you've got the room in the freezer, and that way you always have chopped onions for the rest of the year, or at least for a couple of months. Depends on where you are. Depends on how big of a freezer you have, you know, all the regular stuff. This is going to hang in the cupboard where we have a lot of the jars and where I keep the storing, where I keep a lot of the filled jars and where I store the stock pots, things like that. So yeah, inventory still chugging away. So let me show you the other things that we added to the jar inventory since the last time we talked about the inventory. Now, we didn't add much to the inventory at the moment. We have 7 jars of tomato sauce ready, and we made some thin sliced bread and butter pickles because, you know, we have so many cucumbers. This will be full soon with more tomato sauce, and I need to clean this up so we can put some more down. This is fast turning into one of those all over the place videos, so changed into one of my grubbies because I've been tearing around the house. But I was just talking to Fred, and apparently we have another cantaloupe ready to go. So we're gonna go down and pick a cantaloupe. Now, we've actually already had one and they came out really, really good. Ooh, I think we have a massive English cucumber to get too. Let's get him while we're at it. Oh my gosh. We have a big one down there that I didn't even know was there. Way overripe, of course, but this guy, he's ready to go. There we go. Hello, side dish with our dinner tonight. Seriously, that one great big cucumber in there, I didn't even know it was there. It is now way, way, way super overripe, so yeah, I'm gonna have to get rid of it. But that's okay. Whew. Oh, look at the cantaloupe. Yes, he is right. That guy right there is ready to go. Oh, wait a minute. This one is actually more ready to go. All right, we're gonna pick him and take him in the house. So if you're ever curious as to how much zucchini, that massive zucchini would give you when you grate it up, this is what you get. All right, so I figured, you know, inventory. I'm gonna show you what I do with the zucchini. But first thing is I'm gonna take 4 cups out because we're gonna make a double batch of zucchini muffins for Fred for work and of course for me because they taste good. All right, 1, 2, 3, not exact, right? It's a veggie. Veggies are good. There we go, 1, 2, 3, 4. So guys, this is all I do with the zucchini. Get myself a baggie, measure myself, give or take a cup of shredded zucchini, and get it in the bag. Ta-da! Now I just tend to do it on the freezer. I just wash the freezer off so it's tidy and clean, even though this freezer is stained. Start the zipper to make my life easy, and then squish out as much air as possible. There we go. a 1-cup package of zucchini. So zucchini by itself, I actually don't like the flavor of. Is that terrible? Well, no, actually, let me fix that. I don't mind the flavor, it's the texture. So when you're like putting zucchini in soup, things like that, like the bigger pieces, the texture is a little bit too soft and mushy for me. I just have a problem with that. But the grated zucchini, I'll put that in soup. I'll put that in pasta sauce. We've made savory pancakes in the past. So, you know, when you make like an Asian style shredded chicken, kind of like, oh my gosh, like scallion pancakes. You know, those little tiny crepe type things? The zucchini in those taste good too. Of course, there is a fabulous Epicure mix that I've used in the past that I can't get anymore, and I want to actually find a recipe. Let me show it to you. So the mix that I've been using is this stuff, the Pakora mix. This stuff's addictive, just saying right now. Oh, but I can't get them anymore, so I need to find an actual recipe because these are good. But anyway, that was a tangent. All right, so now, like I was saying, I put the shredded zucchini in soups, in pasta sauce, stuff like that. It gives you the extra fiber, a few other little things. But I also can make muffins if I want, all year round. And the size of that zucchini, I've easily got, I don't know, 5 or 6 meals from that one zucchini. That's crazy. Alrighty, I'm gonna finish bagging these up. Gonna make that double batch of muffins, and I'll show you the muffins when they're all done. Well, all the squash does not fit. Oh, I can tuck him in there. All right. Well, it's not the best, but all the little bags are in there. And I still have the 2 bigger grated yellow squash that are not going to get back in that container. But a full container of grated zucchini for the winter. I think this is going to be all the zucchini that's going to go in the freezer. I did manage to free up the lid so I can show you the freezer. So this is all I do to the tomatoes. Hard as a rock. They've all been washed. They're just on trays. I have another tray in the upright just because it's easier to get to. This is what we have for the garlic that we planted last year, so it's almost time to plant more. I do have a few of the freezer bags with green beans in them. These ones we're going to use first just to get them used up. We have our garlic scapes. These have done some fabulous flavor to meals already. It makes me so happy. And our peas. Look at those. Don't they look fabulous? So all in all, our freezer inventory actually isn't doing too bad. So, yeah. The muffins are in the oven right now. So, right about here, I'm going to insert a picture of how they came out. Now, this one is a new recipe for me, and it actually took more zucchini than the previous recipe. Now, as I'm recording this, I haven't tried them yet. They smell phenomenal. Telling you that right now. I'm going to share the link for the recipe that I did down below. Wow, did they ever come out well? And to be honest with you, this recipe would be really, really good with like a combination of carrot and zucchini. So I am thinking later on in the season I might have to try that. Oh, so yeah. Inventory is getting bigger. By the way, I also have 7 more jars of tomato sauce to add to the shelf. We're getting there. Okay, everybody. Normally, yeah, I'm kind of posting this on a day where I normally go shopping, but there's been a change to that scenario. You'll see that in the future here soon, actually very soon. And yeah, so the goal is, I hope, limit as much as I can when it comes to what we're buying this winter. When, you know, once Fred's off work and, you know, money gets a little lower, just like happens to a lot of people. I want to see how far I can get this garden to stretch, our freezer meals to stretch, see what I can do to prep for the winter time and make my life easier. Alrighty, everybody. Thanks for coming out. You guys all have a fabulous day, and I'll see you next time as we do our Simpler Life here on PEI. Bye for now.